I've just come back from Japan's biggest art festival. Ironically, it actually takes place in Japan's smallest prefecture, Kagawa. Most people only know it for udon noodles.
But what if I told you there's a place here that feels like the Mediterranean? Quiet islands, blue seas, and world-class art. Hence, it's become one of the most breathtaking art destinations in Asia. This is the Seto Inland Sea. And these are the Setouchi Islands. But this beautiful stretch of islands also hides a sad history. Pollution, depopulation, and almost forgotten by the rest of Japan. That's when the Setouchi Triennale, an international art festival, was born. Its motto, reviving this underrated region of Japan through creativity. So come with us as we get a chance to visit these remote islands at their peak. Let's enjoy some art, the island scenery, but also learn how the rich nature you see around you has persisted through dark times. But first, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more hidden gems throughout Japan. You'll have to wait 3 more years if you miss out on this festival in 2025. Because that's right, this festival does not take place every year, but every 3 years. And 2025 just so happens to be when this extremely time-sensitive festival will be held. Not only that, each time, expect a whole new set of artworks by both established and up-and-coming artists from around the world. Oh, by the way, you don't actually need a ticket to visit the festival, or spend any money other than for transportation, because many of the artworks can be viewed free of charge. But if you're planning to visit several islands over several days, we still recommend you buy the Triennale passport. Just pay 4,500 yen once and get free one-time admission to many paid artworks. Just show the QR code and skip right past the line. Note that the passport does not cover some museums or artworks, and that you do still need to pay a separate fee for those. You can pay this on the spot for most cases, but museums might require you to buy a ticket in advance for a certain time slot. The festival lasts for 100 days across 3 seasons: spring, summer, and autumn. We decided to pay a visit right at the beginning of the summer session, which lasts the whole month of August. But where exactly is the festival located? So, Japan has 4 main islands, and the Seto Inland Sea lies between 3 of these: Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. Stretching for 450 kilometers from east to west, it is home to almost 3,000 islands. Out of these, 300 are inhabited. This year, there are 17 islands participating in the Triennale, each with their own unique culture, scenery, and artworks. We recommend you base yourselves at one of 2 port areas, because from there, you can take a ferry to many different islands. This is either Uno Port at Okayama Prefecture or Takamatsu Port at Kagawa Prefecture. If you're heading from Tokyo, there's a direct flight from both Haneda and Narita to Takamatsu Airport, and it takes less than 1.5 hours. But if you happen to be in Osaka and would like to take a more scenic route, then a direct bus from Osaka Station is also available. No transfers needed. Just sit tight as you pass by 4 prefectures in 1 bus ride. Oh, and did we mention you'll be riding across the second longest suspension bridge in the world? All this leads you to Takamatsu, a marine transportation hub that'll be your gateway to the islands. Make sure to book your stay near Takamatsu Station, which shouldn't be much of a problem since there are plenty of hotels and restaurants near the area. This is because Takamatsu Station is just 5 minutes away from Takamatsu Port, where you'll take the ferries you need to get to the Setouchi Islands. But this port city is not just for transportation. It'll be a shame to leave without trying some of the city's unique foods. Must-try items include Kagawa Prefecture's famous Sanuki Udon. It might look like your regular udon noodles, but its firm and chewy texture has been impressing people for 1,000 years. For meat lovers, try honesuki dori, literally bone-in chicken. It's bursting with juice and falls right off the bone. So you finally made it to your base camp. Still, 17 is a lot of islands to visit. If you have limited time and energy, just make sure you visit these 4 islands. Not only are they the biggest and have the most artworks, they're also the easiest to get to from both of the port areas. There are multiple direct ferry and boat rides throughout the day, so rest assured, you won't have to worry about getting stranded. Now, let's get right to our first island, Naoshima. It's safe to say that Naoshima is a poster child of the Setouchi Islands. And this yellow pumpkin sculpture, created by world-famous artist Yayoi Kusama, is the symbol of the entire festival. Because even before the Triennale, Naoshima was already known as an art destination. As far back as 1989, artworks have popped up all around the island, aiming to revitalize the local area and community. Many works were commissioned from famous artists, and many are created specifically for this island venue. This means there are no 2 copies in the world. You can only see them in Naoshima. Case in point are the numerous museums and buildings designed by yet another renowned architect, Tadao Ando. The Benesse House Museum overlooks the Seto Inland Sea, whilst its exhibits stretch into the forest and shoreline. The Chichu Art Museum is built underground, so it doesn't disturb the natural landscape of Naoshima. It houses the original works of masters of their crafts, like Claude Monet and his Water Lily series. In both museums, photos are allowed in designated areas if it's only for personal use. Guess you'll just have to see these places for yourself then. Our next island is Teshima. Teshima is the second largest island in the Seto Inland Sea. It's right next to Naoshima, and you can ride a high-speed boat between the islands. It only takes 20 minutes. Out of all the islands, Teshima might be the true underdog hero, the one who bounced back the furthest from his dark past and is now thriving better than ever. The story began in the 1960s. That's when Japan underwent rapid economic growth, and this included the Setouchi area. In fact, several large-scale industries based themselves there because of its status as an important shipping route. That's when problems started to arise. For Teshima, that problem began in the 1970s, when it became an illegal dumping site for toxic waste. But 5 decades later, it is now known for its abundant resources and beautiful natural landscapes. One scenery you wouldn't want to miss out on is the winding road next to a hill of terraced rice fields. If you get it from the right angle, it really looks like it's leading straight into the crystal blue sea. It really makes for the photo of a lifetime. Right next to this road is the Teshima Art Museum, which is, to be frank, an architectural marvel. Designed by not one, but 2 visionaries, the artist Rei Naito and architect Ryue Nishizawa, the museum is shaped like a drop of water, and entering the museum does make you feel as if you're walking inside one. There are no pillars whatsoever holding up this dome-shaped building, and water somehow always springs up from the ground. These puddles and actual water droplets scattered across the floor are part of the art, so make sure you don't step on them. You might not be able to take any pictures inside, but you are allowed to take a nap. So, moving on to our third island, Megijima. Megijima is only 20 minutes away from Takamatsu by ferry. The land of the ogres is much closer than you think. So yes, Megijima is known as the home of the ogres. It's because of its large cave system, said to be the lair of these creatures who appear in Japan's most famous folktale, Momotaro. So Momotaro tells the story of a boy born from a peach who defeats a band of ogres that terrorize the land. The ogres are said to live on a distant island called Ogre Island, or Onigashima. Fun fact, Momotaro is actually a local hero of Okayama Prefecture, from where you can also take a ferry to get to Megijima. So maybe Momotaro was born in Okayama and went to Megijima to defeat the ogres? It's a shame that there was no ferry back then, so he could have arrived quicker. Ogijima is 20 minutes away from Megijima. To get there from Takamatsu and back again, you just take the same ferry that goes to Megijima. Whilst hopping between islands, you might have passed one that caught your eye. Houses stacked on top of one another down the steep hillside, making for a distinct tiered landscape. That's Ogijima. And even when you're walking within it, its narrow steep lanes seem to just lead back to one another like a maze. But you don't have to worry about getting lost, because this island is only 2 kilometers long and 1 kilometer wide. Population, 160 people. Which still isn't a lot, but it was actually because of the Triennale that many families have relocated to the island. By 2014, the once closed elementary and junior high school were reopened. This was just after the second ever Triennale in 2013, which attracted 1.1 million visitors. This new and vibrant community has added a splash of color to the townscape. Who knows, it might be a belated blessing from the gods of the island. Because once upon a time, Ogijima's very own Toyotama Hime Shrine was the go-to for couples praying for safe childbirth. People came from far away to the small island in the middle of the Seto Inland Sea for this purpose. In exchange for helping so many people, the deity might have brought all those families just when the island is about to be forgotten. Good actions can only lead to good karma after all. Whilst we could only introduce 4 islands this time around, you should definitely check out the others if you have time. For example, Shodoshima is the largest island participating in the Triennale. It is the first place in Japan to produce olives. On the flip side, Oshima is the smallest island that hides the deepest, darkest history of the region. It was and still is home to one of 13 sanatoriums in Japan for people affected by Hansen's disease, known better as leprosy. The artworks exhibited there serve to remind us of the people who suffered under unfair social segregation laws. So many islands, so much history. If it wasn't for the Triennale, there's a chance these island stories would have been left buried and forgotten. Now they've finally been uncovered in the form of beautiful art. But you can also be a part of this movement, where art can and have actually changed people's lives. So what are you waiting for? Buy your tickets now and you'll just make it in time for the autumn session, running for 38 days from October 3rd to November 9th.
Oh, and one more thing. While it's easy enough to get to Takamatsu or Okayama, it's another thing entirely to plan a whole itinerary to the islands.
Checking the ferry and bus schedules so you can see all the artworks you want, but also make it back to port by the end of the day can be a hassle.
That's why we can plan your trip for you. Just contact us through any of our social media platforms or WhatsApp, which we'll put in the description below.
And finally, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more exciting festivals throughout Japan.